G'day, I'm Ray Tomes from New Zealand. Welcome to the Saturday Science Summary, a program about cycles, sometimes topical things that are happening. Today I'm going to talk to you about particularly animals and birds making repetitive sounds, and there's two ways where we can find cycles. One of them is there's cycles in the rhythm of the noises they make. For example, cicadas. Or cicadas, however you say it, make a sound which is and I found that that's typically about 66 times per second, very similar to my heartbeat when I'm sitting still. Other ones, it's also the frequency of the sounds they make. Any frequency is a cycle, and particularly today I'm going to talk to you about the New Zealand tui. Overseas, people often know about a kiwi as a New Zealand native bird, but for New Zealanders, the tui is a very iconic bird because we don't usually see kiwis from one day to the next or from one year to the next unless we visit the zoo or a kiwi house somewhere, because they're nocturnal birds in the bush. But tuis, they live everywhere in the bush, in the cities. They like a bit of bush, but there's lots of that in the cities here where I live in Auckland. So we can find them and in large numbers, and they have beautiful sounds. They have beautiful sounds and they have ugly sounds. They range from copying a bellbird sound, which is very melodic, through to making a sound of a creaky, rusty door, and everything in between. They apparently have a few hundred different sounds they can make. So we'll hear a few of those, and we'll see some tuis making the sounds. And we'll also look at some very interesting video from Macaulay, who operate a library of sounds for birds and other creatures. And that library shows the waveforms, or not the waveform, but the frequency analysis. I call it a voice print. So you've got time running along one way, and you've got frequency up the other side, and it shows you the pattern of what's going on, and you can see very clearly one of the most common ones that the tui does is dee dee. And don't take me at my word, because I'm not a very tuneful person, but the sound of that is very nice, and it's the two frequencies that they make an exact what's called a perfect fifth in music, or a ratio of the frequency of 3 to 2, very accurately. And I found the evidence of this, that it could do this ratio very accurately, because in this voice print, it turns out the tui can make more than one sound at once. So when it does it keeps going while it does it. And so you can actually see the two of them, and you can see the overtones of them, and you can see that the overtone of this one, the second overtone of that, is equal to the third of this. They exactly match up because they're happening at the same time, and you can tell that it's got the perfect pitch for that. The rusty door, it might not be so perfect, but it also does repeated sounds, sometimes at very regular intervals. So I found some cases where every 0.4 of a second, or 2.5 beats per minute, that's sort of a musical tempo, that the tui would make us call, sort of thing. So let's have a look at what a tui looks like and hear some of its sounds, and then we'll go through some of these nice voice prints that show all the different things that it can do, and how musical they are. You can find many animal sounds recordings on Macaulay Library .org, and so I recommend you to go there and have a look. It's a wonderful resource. Thousands and thousands of recordings of many different animals. Almost everything is recorded there. Oops, I said that the cicada did 66 noises per second. I meant per minute. 66 per minute is about the same as my heart rate. My heart rate does not run at 66 per second. So let's fix that one. In pre-European times, Maori kept tui as pets. They also ate them, but they kept them as pets. And one of the things they did is they taught them to speak, and they got them to recite long messages of welcome when people came out to visit them. The tui would tell them all about it. So they're quite clever birds, quite intelligent. I hope that you've enjoyed this little talk about the tui and the sounds they make. And that applies to equally to many other creatures that they've got rhythmic sounds and also melodious sounds, nice pleasant frequencies in the scale. So we'll hope to see you again soon.